Good morning, it's Uma from A Sense of Uma, and I'm just going to show you how to do one of the sort of simpler fancy folds so you can make your festive cards a bit more special. Today I'm starting off with what I call a Z fold. There are all kinds of fancy things you can do with a Z fold, but for me it's generally having a card that has this kind of fancy bit. And it's not really hard to do. And then you do your matting and layering as usual. As you can see, this card's already starting to take shape. What I'll do is sort of show you how to do it two ways. And to be honest, you can start from just your ordinary card blank if you like. Oh, sorry, I have like... Start from just your ordinary card blank if you like. Did you like hearing me twice? There we go. I just like to see myself on Facebook to see if there's any comments or anything I can reply to them. So so I'll get ahead with basically making one from scratch. So I shall grab some Whisper White Thick, and I'm going to show you sort of two ways to make one which will make sense. Because you can make it in a portrait or a landscape style of card. So I'll show you the portrait way first, which looks a bit like this, and it's called a Z fold because look, it's a Z. Now, I'm going to put it this way so you can see where I'm cutting. So for your portrait card, what you're going to do is cut it at 14.8 and a bit. Landscape. Then you end up with a piece of card that looks like this, and this will be 14.8 times 21.5. And I'm going to score it at the halfway point, which is 10.5, and this is where you would score just to make an ordinary card blank. And now, can you see that this is just your normal card blank, but the front's kind of folded in half. Hiya Donna, grateful for the company, darling. Thanks for watching. And then this is going to be a halfway point. So as I talked about, I scored it at 10.5 to make it in half. Now I'm making it in half again. So this is going to be 5.25, which is a little bit fiddly, but you can see it quite clearly in my Stampin' Up trimmer. Now what I like to do is fold it in half, so you've got that nice crisp, and I've butt it up against these bits in my trimmer. And then I'm going to do the same again just to make sure that everything lines up as well as can be. I'm not too fussy because it's handmade, isn't it? So there you go, there's your basic Z fold looking like a Z. And I'm going to show you the other way if you'd like. So this is where you end up with this kind of card blank. Can you see? And also I'd like to take some time to appreciate that use some extra lovely pattern paper, which is the point of this. It makes it easy work. So this time I'm going to cut down 10.5. And as I always say, 10.5 and 14.8 and a little bit are kind of like your magic numbers when it comes to making your own card blanks. So this is going to be scored at 14.8, which is your halfway point, and 7. Oh, nearly got it. 7.4. There we go. Now, I hope you're appreciating this view. And then this way, I'm going to score it like this. And there we go. Get that half. And then bend it back so the front part of the card is, it's just halfway. Yep. So that's that done. Yep. And the nice thing about this, it kind of got its own little, it's a bit more sturdy because look, you got the Z fold there supporting you. So I'm sort of nearly completed that seasons one, but what I wanted you to do, and I'm speaking to you, Donna, if you can type an answer, is sort of choose what papers I should use next. So I've got these upside down. These are the Peaceful Place papers. I've got Peaceful Place papers. I've got the Whimsy and Wonder, which I believe is not orderable now because there's so many people ordered it, so it's on back order. Or Sweet Stockings. I kind of feel like maybe I should go for the Peaceful Place because it's quite monochrome and it's not my usual style. I can show you how I finish off my painted, I think it's called Painted Christmas papers as well. So when I'm picking my card colours and my card base, I'll be alright with white with this because it's a monochrome. A beautiful, beautiful monochrome. I tend to be flicking through the catalogue to see what colours coordinate. So let's have a look. I believe it goes with the Peaceful Cabin. I think I've done too much hopeful flicking here. It was definitely... Yep, there we go. And when you see these papers displayed, they'll have the colours underneath. So this is Smoky Slate, Basic Grey, Black and Silver. To keep the card kind of light, I'm going to go with... Sorry, I seem to have a bug in my throat. I'm going to go with a bit of Basic Grey to coordinate here. Yep. Because I've already decorated one that kind of goes sideways, I'd like to show you how to do one that goes this way. So if you remember, this bit is 14.8 that way and 10.5. So when I'm working out my matching layering, I always take off 0.5 centimetre. And then this bit will be 14.8 by 5.25, I would say. So for mat and laying, I know I need a piece that's going to be 14.3. And I have one bit that needs to be a 10. And one bit that needs to be 4.75, but because the crease takes a bit more, I don't really mind if it's 4.7. I can't believe I'm going to make a grey Christmas card. I kind of feel a bit posh. So you can see there, you kind of get like a perfect border. Well, I say perfect, as you all know, in handmade there's no such thing as perfect. And it's going to create sort of a very different card to what I usually make. I'm feeling quite proud of myself. And then the next thing to do is kind of choose your pattern papers that you want to put. So this is a bit where I say, yep, You need to cut up your pattern paper. You do, honest. And then I find it hard to do myself. I think that this bit is kind of perfect for scrapbooking, so I'll definitely keep a piece of that. Can you see it? It's all shiny. I'm trying to look for, and because it's foiled, you find that you find it hard to use the other side, which isn't foiled, but it's still nice, isn't it? It's still nice. Oh, and also what I find with, oh, what do you think? If you use one side like that and one side like that, it's almost coordinated. What I would say is that I would use it like this. I'm going to go for that because I think that will definitely make me feel a bit more posh and coordinated. And this matches with the Peaceful Cabin stamps. So I'm looking for a 9.5 centimetre piece. Yeah, I think I'll keep this as my busy kind of piece. Look at me. Join me, being brave, chopping up my pattern paper. So this is going to be, this is going to be my narrow piece actually. So that was my 4.75. That was the piece of grey card that was going to match onto it. So this is going to be like 4.25 or something like that. But it's got enough detail that you can see what's coming through, even though it's going to be kind of a narrow strip. And it's going on a piece of cardstock as a mat that's 10 centimetres. So I'm going to go for 9.5 centimetres here. No, I'm not. I'm going to go for... I'm going to go for 13.3 and a little bit. Hang on. Excuse me. Yeah, this bit is 14.3, so this is going to be 13.8. I do pardon me. I might have a bit of a Facebook itis here. 14.8 and a little bit. And what I'll do is I'll use the opposite side as my contrasting part. And I know that I started off with 10.5 times 14.8. Hi Samantha, lovely to see you. Oh, say hello to Nathan for me. How are things going in the cafe? So yeah, so if you remember, this mat and layer was 14.3 times 10. So this time around, I want this bit to be 9.5. Ooh. Samantha, I bought a lot, pretty much all the papers that I liked in the catalogue. What can I say? But I think by being brave and using them in fancy folds, you get to show them off to their full potential, don't you? That's what I'm telling myself. Oh, and my organised craft desk is. What I tend to do is put my paper on first. So you see that the sneaky bit about using both sides of the paper is that you've only cut into one piece of your 12 by 12, so you don't feel as guilty. Well, but if you don't use it, you lose it, don't you? And part of card making is bringing that joy to other people. That's what I'm keep telling myself. And sometimes I think, oh, have you ever done this? I don't really like that paper. And then you see someone make something from it and it's just amazing. So as I was saying, this is like the simplest fold that I teach people because it's such a wow effect, but you've not really had to do much more than sort of fold back the front of your card in half. Has anyone else started Christmas crafting yet? I pretty much know all my friends are Christmas crafting. Yes, no one wants to cut into their pretty papers, do they? Yeah, that kind of looks square to me. Ooh. Yeah. And that's how to, oh, if all else fails, don't stick your pattern paper on upside down. And I think, especially if you use kind of the right pattern paper and coordination, it looks pretty impressive as it is, doesn't it, already? But, and what I would do, what I have done in the past is either write here, your greeting, or write your greeting here. Yeah. Now for my sort of portrait kind of Z folds, this way around, not this way around, as I like to use circles really. So let me dig out my circle frame. Let's I'm thinking, what size shall I go for? Now, yeah, I quite like that size. If you look, it looks quite pretty and central. And then the matching one, now that will create quite a narrow border, which I can tell. Yeah, I think that looks a bit better. So I'll keep to my basic grey mat and a bit of white on that circle. What I would say is if you're not too confident with stamping, I would stamp on your white card first and then die cut it out. That gives you kind of like a bit of time for emergency things. I'm sticking with the grey theme. I think I shall dig out my basic grey out of my super tidy task craft desk. And there we go. Basic grey to go with basic grey. And because it's quite a classy greeting, as you can see in this Holly Jolly Wishes, you have kind of like lots of different kinds of sentiments which work well with all the pattern papers, which is why I'm choosing this one to do my fancy folds. And these are all to size, which is great because you can kind of go, does that one go? Because it's quite classy, I'm going to try and stamp this Merry Christmas to You on it, which I think is quite beautiful and elegant and goes well with those papers. One day I'll get round to mounting these up. It's useful when you want to place things. It works well though. And here I go with my many blocks collection. I'm going to go for this one. Now this one, as you can see, it's got its own little cushion, so you don't need to have any sponging or a piercing mat underneath to make sure it stamps clearly, which makes it a bit easy to use really. Oh, I'm stamping sitting down. Oh, so I might need to be a bit careful with this because just to show you, if you get a bit of ink around the edge of your rubber, it can come and create a bit of a halo effect or a shadow effect on your sentiment. Let's see how I go. Down. Yeah, if you wonder why I've got my name on my block, it's because I go to quite a few sort of card making shops and classes, card making workshops and classes where a lot of people got the same. I might give it another go. I like to choose which one I like best. Let's have a little stamp over here. I feel a bit more confident with it now. Merry Christmas to you. Like that. And it's a lovely style. There we go. And then to get it through my trimmer, I like to give it a bit of a... So for those of you that like ribbon, you could tie a little bit of ribbon around this bit if you like. Or even, actually I forgot that the scallops kind of take ribbon quite well. The good thing about this for people who don't like ribbon or tying bows is it looks fancy enough without a bow. If that helps. Let me get my big shot through. There we go. I can position it pretty much very centrally. This is one of the old style ones. Has anyone got the new big cut and emboss one? Oh, excuse me and my shaky fingers. All of a sudden I've realised I'm on Facebook Live, I think. My body's kind of gone, oh, what are you doing? Right. I have taught my crafty chatters this before, so I was quite confident that I'd be able to do it. And one of the crafty chatters, Maria, won't mind me telling you that she loves this fold, and she's used it for, once I've taught it her, she's used it on a lot of things, including like swap cards and things. It's so easy to do, and it looks so impressive. Oh, have you been able to see that come out the other side? One little sentiment going through. Let's get hold of my basic grey. I'm going to hammer this through as well. Make sure it goes through right. I have ordered some of these, there's like I feel like I have white glittered organdy that goes with these papers. What papers have you got so far, Samantha and Donna? I've got a feeling Donna's got all of them. Don't quote me on that. Not sure about Samantha. So I think that's what I'm going to do with the big shot. I'll put these away before I lose them, which is a good idea, isn't it? I think with this one is I'll glue this on, and then I'll use foam dimensionals to put this onto it, to just add a bit more depth to it. Yeah. So you kind of have to remember to only put half glue on half of it, which is very much something I'd do. How am I doing? Am I central? What do you reckon? Now, even if I put dimensionals on this, it will actually post in a classic without a large letter stamp, because if you think about it, you can penguin stockings, whimsies and wonder. Oh, I've got stockings, whimsy and wonder, Samantha. I've just about gotten the nick of time before it went out of stock. Now I'm a bit of I like to put quite a lot of support on things with dimensionals. Not everyone does, which I know. This is the bit where I stand up again and make sure it's the there we go. As you can see, it's a bit of an understated card. Oh, you got Painted Seasons too. I've got a little bit that was sent in training kit from Julie, our upline, which I've used to make this Z fold, but there you go. If you'd like, you could place some gems here and here, if you want. I think it looks perfect as it is. And also it's great for people who don't like a lot of colour, who are quite, you know, I'm quite a bright coloured person. This is a very different kind of card for me. But yes. So I'll quickly show you the end of my painted Christmas card. Same again. I kind of chose my favourite bits. This is my favourite paper from Painted Seasons. I don't think I can stop myself with that. And same again, I've kind of gone for my layers, going from your magic numbers of 14.8 and 10.5. So this mat is 14.3 times 10. This piece of pattern paper is 13.8 times 9.5. This is a bit more complicated. I know that I've scored at 7.4 to make this front bit of the card fall back. So my layer here is 10 by 6.9 and this one is 9.5 times 6.4, if that helps you. And as I've said, if you make a purchase from my online store of £25 or more, I can send you a PDF tutorial with all these measurements on. Now, I've got my little bit of red card that I left out. Here we go. With these, can you see it just looks really nice with that matte and layer? Because I love the paper so much, I'm going to make it a bit smaller. And also I know that I'm going to add a greeting on. And this one's a bit more funky. So I think I'll go for, I'd quite like one that really filled the tie. Filled it. So we've got, we wish you a Merry Christmas. 'Tis the season to be jolly. What sentiment do you reckon? In fact, I could just do what I've done before, is just do a square that pops out, which I think suits these sentiments just a bit better. As I say, you can do circles or squares or rectangles, whatever goes with it. I think that I shall do a rectangle. I'll probably keep the ratios of, you know, your magic numbers 14.8 and 10.5. But I'd like to show off all these lovely pattern papers to the full. I'm just going to toy with my measurements and see what I've got. I might even go from what I've got here. I think 7.5. No, I might even be brave. I'll go for 7. So 7 is 3.5 less than 14.8. 14.8 less 3.5 is 11.3. Let's see if, oh, I can't even do that right. Let me go down to 11. Actually, let's go to 10.8. As you see, I kind of work with what I've got. 10.8, which is 3 less than, which is 4 less than 14.8. So 4 less than 10.5 is 6. Let's go for that and see how I go. think that's fine. I might make it a bit more square, I think. That's 6. Oh, I've done that thing, haven't I, where I've kept cutting down and kept cutting down, and now it's just a bit too small. Let me get another sheet. I think I'll be decisive and just go for a 7x7 square. That seems to fit a lot of things fine. Back to Maria Red. Seven by 7. Oh, says Uma just working out that oh, actually that's fine, it'll fit. Holly Jolly Christmas. And let's use the other side of this, which will be I've just ordered the I think it's like a is it like a story label punch, and I think that would be nice for this kind of part of it. So this is 6.5 times 6.5. Let's double check how it looks on there. I think that looks fine actually. And the colours in this, some of the green colours are Garden Green, Evening Evergreen and Pear Pizzazz when I looked, because you can look in the catalogue and see. As I said, I'm going to go with Evening Evergreen just to balance out all the red in the in the matting that we've got here. And because it's got holly, I think I'm okay stamping Holly Jolly Christmas. They're kind of like fun papers. I feel like maybe I could attempt a bow, but I don't feel like I want to attempt a bow on Facebook Live. I wouldn't say it's my favourite, it's not my favourite thing to do. Definitely. I'm going to go for... Oh, can you see what I'm doing? Sorry. I'm going to go for... I went for an oblong one for this one. I don't think it matters too much how straight it is. Oh, it does. These bits kind of need a bit straightener. So even if I do it a bit wrong, I'll just stamp on a spare bit of card and try again. And this is a bit where I'm going to do a bit of a practice stamp here. I'm committed now. Fingers crossed. Does anyone else stand up to stamp? I do. Perfect. I'll put my inky stamps over here. Not worse than an inky stamp. I'm going to put the backing in here before I lose it, which is likely. Now, I do kind of feel that I could put a bit more on there. I'm trying to remember what card I've got. What have I got on my cover? This is a point where you can add gems or more embellishments, but for now I'll just finish up this card off, I think. Look at me, I'm doing this is just going to be glued on just for a bit more stability. I think I might have a bit of a look through my paper and see if I... So this will be, again, you just only put glue on half of it. There we go. Let me grab my papers. I'm going to see what I was thinking with papers that you've got, especially a lot of the Stampin' Up ones. You can do a bit of sticking, just do cutting and sticking. Yes, Stand Up Crafter. It's not so good for your back, so I'm trying to sit down a bit more, Samantha. Let's see if there's anything I can kind of cut. I can cut like a little sprig of something, or a leaf, and that would be good. I'm going to choose this side. I think just like a little sprig in the corner. Just kind of elevate it up. Now I think as crafters we are a bit nervous of white space when actually it can add to a card. If I hadn't used those big round berries, I might have used those for a bit of embellishing. In general, what I like to do is just have a bit of a play around. I just thought maybe a sprig here, and I'm going to choose another little sprig. Let's see if this one does. As these are quite tiny, I'm just going to adhere them with use glue to stick them on. Now you can be as fussy as you like with fussy cutting. As you can see, I'm not too fussy because I'm gluing this. It's going to have like a white outline and it's going on a white background. And it's not the end of the world if there's a bit of white and it's not as evenly cut as you may want. Oh, sorry, could you see my head then? I was definitely bending down. This one's quite a bit bigger. Have a holly jolly Christmas. This sprig's quite big. I'm just doing this to just slightly fill it. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. What do you think, Samantha, before I glue it down? I think, oh, yeah, that one needs to be there. That one needs to be that way. That one needs to be that way. What do you think, Samantha? Can I have your blessing before I stick it down? Actually, you know what? I can do it. I can do it. I can do it without someone typing yes. Of course, you've got gems and sequins. You can also use this to fill up your square if you feel that the square needs a bit more. And I find that if you fill a corner, then seems to fill up the space a bit more. Oops. Just a bit more on this, otherwise it'll stick up. Oh yes, we like it. Excellent, Samantha. I've got it. And I feel like that needs to be that way. It just looks right. The other way looked a bit wrong. There we go. So that's one of the things I was going to say to you. I've deliberately chosen a stamp with big sentiments, but if you feel like it doesn't fill your square or your circle that you want to use, just cut a little bit of the pattern paper and stick it on. You might find it fills that square just a tiny bit better than it did on its own. So here's my 2 cards that I've made so far. I hope you like them. I'm actually pretty impressed, and I think this is why it's the first kind of fancy fold that I teach, because it's quite impressive quite early on. So thank you very much for joining me. I've finished now. If you want to come and see me again, I'm doing these kind of festive fancy folds on the first Wednesday of each month up until Christmas. So there will be one in December. There'll be one in December and November, just to show you how to make the most of those pretty pattern papers that you've got in the catalogue and just improve your confidence. And then even if you learn like a couple of fancy folds for Christmas, then you've got them for your birthdays and the new year as well. All right. Thank you for joining me, Samantha and Donna. And I think there was another person as well. And I shall be seeing you when I see you. All right. Bye bye.